Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Breath Talks. And I am super excited today to be here with Dana and Ashanna of Clarity Breathwork, which I have heard such amazing things about it. But very first of all, we are going to take you into this talk with a wonderful meditation and channeling with music. So thank you, ladies.
Wonderful. Thank you for having us, Kira.
Thanks,
We're
Kira.
delighted to be here. And to all that are listening, welcome, welcome. My name's Ashanna.
In Ireland.
So happy to meet you.
Yeah, and I'm Dana Dharmadevi. And and I've had the good fortune of teaching in Ireland many times. So if there's anybody there from that community, sending big love. And we're honored to be here. Okay, anytime you're ready.
Okay, great. So we'll just start with a little gathering our energy with meditation, and we'll do just a little bit of connected breathing to drop us all into the best call here together possible. Let's begin together by taking a deep breath, letting it all go on the exhale, breathing ourselves fully present, fully here on the inhale, letting go on the exhale, and just taking a pause no matter what is happening for you right now. There's always this holy instant, this sacred now moment to drop into your breath, to your body, to your being. We invite you to place a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly and take another deep breath, calling all of your energy to be here now, surrounding yourself in a cocoon of golden light. Let's call back all of our energy from wherever it's been scattered out in the universe, bringing it right here, right now. Let's give ourselves lots of self-love and self-care for whatever we are passing through individually and collectively. And let's take another deep breath and just offer our hands facing up to receive this gift of breath, of love, of grace is pouring in. And you can rest your hands open in your lap. Let's go ahead and send our roots deep down into Mother Earth, grounding, sending them down into the soil, the water, and the rock. And taking a deep breath, and let's just compost whatever needs to fall away. Letting the old go, letting what is outdated fall away. And sending our roots deeper to connect with the true vitality and energy of our Mother Earth, who is breathing us through her trees, forests, plant life, giving us this breath of life to live fully in a body on earth. And let's wrap our roots all the way down into the center of the earth, into her heartbeat, tuning ourselves back to the heartbeat of the mother, to the heartbeat of creation. And let's go ahead and receive her love, her energy, her support as it spirals all the way back up into your home sanctuary. Wherever you are right now is your sanctuary, your temple of healing, of loving breathing. That's it. Use your breath and let's draw that energy up through the bottoms of our feet and legs, opening the energy channels. Breathe out any stale, stagnant, old energy, fears, doubts. Let it go. Breathe in trust, strength, resilience. Place a hand on your belly again, and let's bring our breath into our belly, our navel, our connection to Mama Earth, that place where we were also once connected to the umbilicus in our mother's womb, when the miracle of life that is you formed itself. Use your breath, claim this miracle. And if you can do that, what else can you do? Let's breathe it up into the solar plexus, activating our inner channel, our inner flute, calling back our power, our brilliance, our manifestation capacity. We are breathers. We are miracle workers. Let's breathe it into our hearts and place your hands on your heart. Take several connected breaths into your heart, and let's just clean out, clear out, sweep out any layers of closure or protection that you no longer need. Breathe into the love that surrounds you, the love that you are. Breathe it in. Let's breathe it all the way up through our shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. And let's just send our light rippling out to all of our loved ones, all beings everywhere. Feel it coming back to you. We are all connected. We are all rising. And breathe it up through your throat, activating your true wisdom, your true gifts. Up through the third eye, activating your vision, your clear seeing. And let the flute take you right up to the crown chakra, where we connect back to the infinite, to Divine Mother, Father, all that is, all the guidance, all the love that we ever needed and ever wanted. I invite you to take about 7 connected breaths right now. Relax the mouth, open the mouth. Connect the breath on the inhale, the exhale, and back again. Breathing in this infinite grace, this infinite love, this infinite light. Planting a prayer for yourself in your heart, for what you would like to receive now in your life from this gift of breath, from being here with us today. And then place your hands in prayer position in front of your heart, and let's dedicate this practice to your highest good, to the highest good of all beings everywhere. So it is. Blessed be. That's a little taste.
This is the best introduction to one of these talks so far.
We'd love to
Hands
keep
down.
going, but we know we're here for an interview.
That's right.
Brilliant. So thank you so much for sharing that with us and putting everybody into an amazing space while they're listening to this. Wonderful. So tell me, how did you discover breathwork?
Dana, I'm going to let you start since you started
Okay.
before I did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, 40-something years ago. I'm really not clear on the exact date, but I know that, yeah, I did. I was in Key West, Florida, and I was going through a heartache, actually a heartbreak, and realizing that I was attracting unavailable partners, and that was my story, and I had a realization actually that at birth, I wasn't actually very welcomed by my obstetrician. Was annoyed that he was woken up at 4 a.m. There was a story there, and so I had this rejection wound thing happening, especially with men, and my quiet father, who was very beautiful but quite quiet. So a friend suggested I needed breath work, and I was like, "What is that?" And I went actually, and it was pre-Saundere. She was one of my main teachers, but it was a woman named Joni Watkins, who I've never been able to reach, from New York. I don't know if you know her.
No.
Umpteen years. She was in my island, and on my island, and I was doing breath work. Now I had tried all the psychedelic stuff, and and that had a power and a presence, but it was my own breath. It was the most powerful experience of my life, and I was just blown wide open, expanded, and the breath just took me. Pretty soon, Sandra came to teach on my island 40-something years ago, and then I took her training. I just was led by the hand, and then the breath took me. I was actually in the fashion industry. I was already a musician since I was 4, and but it was just a calling that I had a date with breath work, and my whole life changed in every way, with career, with world travel, with new partner. He was available for 17 years. And and many beautiful life changes, and living in all these sacred places, like we're on Maui right now, and getting to live in all these in phenomenal places around the globe, and it's a blessing beyond what I can share in a short interview, but it keeps growing and getting better. That's what I know.
Now, the Hawaiian Islands are somewhere that, would you believe, I haven't been yet. And there are a few places that I haven't been. And someday I will get there.
Good. Come visit.
For that goddess energy.
You breathe really deep here.
I can imagine.
So, well, I can share with you. I mean, there's so many stories that I'm thinking of to share with you. And the most profound, I mean, I found breathwork pretty early on in my early 20s when I went to Heartwood Institute way up on a mountain in Northern California. I think I was 21 at the time, and we were doing Louise Hay, shamanic drumming, all these different healing modalities, and we got to the breathwork. And in that breathwork experience, I had such a huge transformation, opening, healing. And I thought, this is the most powerful thing that I'll ever do. And then it was a few years later, I had moved to Maui. I had become a healer. But I was really trying to ascend out of here. Like I was doing a lot of light body practices and astral projection. And I thought, if I could just get out of here, that would be a really good thing. And, but it wasn't working for me very well, because I needed to be here in my body and feel my feelings. So I was with my boyfriend in San Diego, and we were headed to Angel Fire, New Mexico for a Course in Miracles conference. And I was meditating, and I thought, and I just knew I'm going to meet someone that's going to absolutely change my life and change my path. And I told my boyfriend, well, we got to Angel Fire, New Mexico, and there were all these channelers, and I was a channel, and all of it was over my head. I just thought, I can't relate to any of this. I need something real. And Sandra Ray, 6 foot, redhead, walked into the room, and she said, I want to talk to you about your anger and your guilt and your shame. And I was like, sign me up. And that night, in my boyfriend's arms, because he was a rebirther, I re-experienced my entire birth again. I had already experienced it early on in a cave when I was spelunking in Missouri. I had gotten stuck in a cave. I got stuck in a cave, and when I wanted to have a rebirth ceremony, I got completely stuck, and I went out of my body, and I was back at my birth, seeing all the details, seeing the whole thing. And that began my journey of birth. So this kind of merging of my birth material, rebirthing, breath work. And then that led me to meet Dana and Peter through my association with Sandra Ray here on Maui. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, something you said is my first rebirther said exactly the same to me. Oh, you light workers, you just
Right.
come out of your body.
Right.
Come on, stay in there. She was fabulous. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm having a great time.
It's true. I realized, Peter, Dana's husband at the time, looked at me. He goes, "You're not even in your body." And I was so mad at him, and then I realized, oh, I have a lot of emotion to process. And that first breathwork retreat with Sandra, I was just on the floor the whole day, just letting everything that I had suppressed and denied, come out of me. And I really came alive. And you asked for a mystical experience. So I'll just share that little nugget that I was there breathing, and here came the spiritual master Babaji that Sandra and Leonard had worked with. And he said, "I want you to travel all over the world and bring breath work and energy and dance to all these people." And I could see all these people going like this. And I was breathing and I was like, "Babaji, I'm not good enough. I could never do it. I'm not good enough." And he goes, "Fine, I'll find somebody else." And he was walking away. And I went, "Wait a minute. This is what I was born for. Come back." And he came back and he said, "Then let's get to work." And I could say that was 25 years ago, probably. And we have ended up traveling all over the world to people raising their hands up in the air in celebration, bringing this gift of clarity breath work. And I'm just so grateful for the assignment.
Fabulous. Now, tell us a bit more about clarity breathwork, what you do and how it's different to other forms.
Well, I can start, and because this is what we bring. Like we gave a little sample of what we actually. I'll do it. I've got a harmonium right here. I do it. Yeah, Divine Mother chant. Sometimes we bring in Shiva, or we do sing prayers for the earth, really. But we we have a setting that we create, a safe and sacred space. Before we dive in, we don't care so much about the intellect. We do, but it's more, let's open the heart. And the flutes actually help open the heart. So clarity, I don't know anybody else that does bring in some chanting, live chanting, and then the flutes and Ashanna's gift of being, as you could tell, like a phenomenal channel. So bringing that in, and then people feel safe, and then so our style is open mouth, and we know there's a lot of controversy, and but we have found, and again, for me over 40 years, that through the mouth, yes, sometimes nose, in through the nose and out through the nose if you need more subtle, but just we don't force the exhale. There's nothing to get rid of, and our approach is soft, more gentle, sacred, feminine, nothing to get rid of at all. Everything to embrace and welcome and see, to inquire. So we use a lot of practices of increase. So the breath is so simple, and we're two moths. So we're holding that kind of space of just unconditional love and presence. And so if there's anger or there's sorrow or grief or trauma, we're there. We're going to catch the babies, and be there, and to really listen. I think we're very good listeners, and very safe space holders. So I would say that's a difference that I've noticed even with some of my teachers that I've been in the room and watching how they process people. And we have a lot of room for whatever's there to really, truly embrace it. And so that's a short answer.
It's so true, holding the space. And I've always found that to help people through tetany, it's that soft, gentle, feminine breath that will get you through it, not thinking like a lot of the new teachings are out there, to get through tetany. No, go back to the soft, feminine breath, Yeah.
Soft,
I would just,
yeah, go ahead, honey.
Yeah, I would just add to that, I also went and took the trauma healing training with Dr. Peter Levine, to help to understand what happened when students went over threshold and they had too much activation come up and they got overwhelmed, which can happen, especially with unexperienced breath workers or breath workers that are pushing or forcing the breath. It can be re-traumatizing to people. Or people can check out, go into full body tetany or become and dissociate. So through understanding the tools of trauma healing, the need for titration, the need to slow things down, the need to actually be more oriented in the here and now, rather than going off on a big trance journey. It doesn't mean that we don't journey or have visions. I think in just like probably every other school of breath work, I mean, it's simply miraculous how we breathe and what can arise as we breathe, whether it's our birth material or an ancestral spirit that is visiting us, or guidance about our next project, or physical healing. It's such a wide range. And when you slow it down and go more subtly, I think you can catch more deeper layers, and then you can integrate those layers instead of like have a big, huge experience and then not know how to integrate that. So I would say one of the main things about clarity breathwork is our desire to help our students and ourselves integrate the material and make the real lasting changes that we want in our lives.
And you were saying about how holding the space is so important, because people will then go deeper when they know that you're holding it with that loving energy and heart open.
So true.
I wanted to say one thing about because our level 1, for example, we call it sacred breath and embodiment. So we also do embodiment practices. So if we look at a birth material and we see that there's activation, and then there will be a reclaiming of power. So we're going to do a ritual. Ashanna brings in some embodiment movement therapy, really, that really helps people to embody what it is that they went through, to really reclaim their power and strength and courage. And so we have built something that is pretty extraordinary. I wanted to say one thing about tetany. It is the breath, and what I found, like in festival settings, because we've done a lot of festivals with hundreds of people, that one thing I discovered when we were on a team of lots of breath workers, and they didn't know what to do with the tetany, and people were so activated that the whole body was pretty much in tetany. And so I watched somebody, like a very young Asian woman, and she was just terrified. And I had her put her hands just on her heart, even though they were like claws, but to gently breathe and see that she was safe, and to feel me there and open her eyes. She looked into my eyes, and she started to calm, and her hands started to release. So it's really fear running in the body. So just wanted to add that about.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just that soft and gentle, nurturing presence that you gave helps the person to
feel safe. I wanted to add to that, because I think in our work with the sacred feminine or the divine mother energy, and for myself, coming from a background of feminine,
tingles.
here she is. I came from a background of feminism and feminist thought, and yet I felt there was a lot of division in that for me. And so to me, this is that next level of just embracing a more feminine aspect of the divine and those nurturing qualities that a lot of us missed out on, where our mothers weren't supported enough to be nurturing, and where there was so much interference done in terms of birthing, and how many of us were drugged or forcepted, or mothers were left alone in the birthing rooms. Our mothers didn't have the capacity to give us the nourishment and the love that we needed. And so through this work, and through this really divine mother love and the earth's love, because we find that wherever we are, whether we're teaching in Bali or Costa Rica or Maui, it's the energy of the mother through the earth that is reaching up and supporting us. And when we're breathing, we start to breathe more in in synergy with her, we start to access, how we need to live, what we become informed. And so that's why I think breath work is the miraculous medicine of this time.
It is.
And it's growing so rapidly because it's just a way to reconnect us to the mother of all life and also to the father of all life, and to heal all that abandonment wound that we all carry and that humanity carries, that causes us to act out in ways that become very destructive to ourselves and the earth.
I also get a lot of my male clients to do the haka and really get that masculine power that's, not out of control, but, ground them, because it is such a powerful and grounding dance, and it really helps them. So
yeah, that's great. I can feel that now. I'm getting chills.
What does that look like? What are they
it's
doing?
like this Maori dance where they're they're stomping and and it's really great.
I love it.
Especially
channel that energy. Yes.
a lot of men are getting conflicted, sort of impressions about their masculinity and being told that it's not good. But actually I'm saying, yes, your masculinity is
really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
And especially men who may have, been subject to sexual abuse, that and then become more effeminate. I'm like, bring back your masculine power.
Bring back the masculine. Yeah. We really need both. It's really true. We need both that. So we talk about that in our training, where we'll go into the feminine role, where we're feeling a lot and, getting into our vulnerability. And then we bring in the more masculine and the boundaries, whereas there's that time to like claim your space, say no, reestablish your self-protective boundaries. And this dance of yin and yang and masculine, feminine is so important to bring balance to them. Both
soft and strong. Yeah.
So where are you next going to be training? Is it in Hawaii, or are you actually going to be able to get back to Costa Rica? Is it Pachamama?
Pachamama. We've been online since the pandemic.
Right.
It's almost 2 years. So our next training is actually starting Friday and is online. But we did just make plans to go to Pachamama in July. So we're super excited to be live in person for 2 years.
Yay. That's fantastic. Yeah. So you've got an online training starting this Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's also available. The first 2 levels are available by video course as well. So if you can't join us live for the level 1 and 2, you have the option to do that via video in our online learning portal, and then come into our practitioner training, which starts in April.
Okay. And so one of my big questions is, what do you think this reality is all about, this existence that we're in?
Dana, why don't you start that one?
What is this reality, this existence that we're in?
What is it really about?
Great question.
Yeah, it's a great question. For me, my most simple answer would be the best person you can be in any given moment, no matter what is presenting itself. And I almost said preventing itself. So it's like there seems to be an opportunity for great stress if you get a letter that you really didn't want to have, or your computer breaks down, or whatever there is. It's like, we had an alarm going off in the early morning. It's like, it's a fire alarm. So it's like, and to be able to meet it with as much loving kindness as possible, which may be that we're completely stressed and upset.
I was looking for the hammer. Fire alarm.
So, I think there's an invitation there to take a breath. Take a breath, and then we'll know the next step. And that could be, just fiercely meeting our anger and just loving ourselves through that, or a friend's anger, whatever is appearing. It's like it's like, be the best you can be in every moment. Use your breath, use your love, and and keep going. I don't give up no matter what. I've been through many traumas and dramas and all these different things. I think most of us have at this point or witnessed that. And it's to keep showing up, roll your sleeves up, keep showing up, and love again and again.
Wonderful.
Dana.
Yeah.
I can
I had a
testify that Dana's definitely example of what she believes and living that.
Thank you.
And for me, I'm not sure that any of us can ever really know while we're in these bodies and in these minds what this reality is for. And it's such an incredible inquiry. What are we doing here and why are we here? And I think we get to perceive it in so many different ways. And I choose to perceive it on the good days, the good moments, right, as an incredible gift. Yeah. It is a gift of life to be in a body and to know that we are actually one with all that is at the same time, that we also appear to be in these separate bodies. And it definitely seems that we are here to evolve and to grow, because we are evolving and we are growing, and to bring more and more love and more spirit into our earthly experience, and perhaps to love it so much that we transform it out of this pain and suffering into a greater garden for us to live in and for our children and our grandchildren. Because what an incredible gift. We don't know of any other planets that hold life. There must be some, but we don't know them yet. So a better question for me is, how do I walk in this life and receive, the blessing and use this opportunity, because the masters and teachers say that this is a sacred opportunity. It's a boon to have a human body. Yeah. And yet so resistance can come up and pain can come up that we want to get out of here. We don't want to be here. So that's why we need these healing tools like breath work, to help each other, help ourselves to keep showing up, keep choosing love, keep breathing.
And you know what? The theme of love coming out of Canada right now is immense. And I love that you said that, because I've been watching all these videos taken by the protesters about how they are just uniting together in love.
Wow.
And it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful, to see the people together happily, very happy. It's not like like angry. It's like, come on, this is how we're going to get through this with love.
That's right.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the purpose of some of the things that are happening today, is to wake us up and bring us together in love and see that we can make the changes that we need to make.
Coming together. Absolutely.
I have love that you said Canada, because I happen to be Canadian and I have a lot of family there. And it's like whenever we remember, this is the thing that I do love about international trainings, but also online, is that we get to come together. Remember, there's somebody in Ireland, there's somebody in Canada, there's somebody in, Africa and Kenya right now that we know. It's like this. We have expanded globally our global heart, and we can't help it. We're separate, and yet we've never been separate. We're connected, and the breath really connects us. It's like it doesn't have a nationality. The breath, it's just pure essence.
Yeah. It is wonderful. Okay, well, thank you, ladies. This has been wonderful to meet with you and talk to you.
Thank you so much for having us, Kira. And thank you for interviewing all these breath workers and getting it out to the world more.
Exactly. We need this. And back at Pachamama. Yes.
Yay.
Want to come?
Dancing in the forest.
You never know. You never know.
Come to Maui. Yeah. Beautiful. I love how alive you are, and just, really beautiful to share this time with you.
Well, I hope to be back in the States. So it will be great. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. So good to be here with you today.
Good to be here with you. Aloha.
Keep breathing.